Hey there, welcome, good morning, good afternoon, great MAPS coaching clients and everyone else who's listening to this. My name is Coach Bill Pipes. It's my pleasure today to have the opportunity to be speaking to you for the next 5 or 6 minutes about some key ideas that you can be utilizing to really increase your production and most importantly, do more business in less time. You know, I can't see you right now, but I can imagine that you're sitting here listening going, well, what is it? What is it that I can do that will help me right now increase my production, allow me to be able to move my business forward, and allow me to be able to actually, ultimately make more money net bottom line when it's all done? Well, it's pretty simple, and it starts with a very basic and simple question, guys, and that is, what do you get paid to do every day? And think about it. What is it that you're getting paid to do every single day? When I ask this question inside of seminars, and when we ask it to all of our great MAPS coaching clients, when we ask it in bold, the answers that we invariably get are things like, well, I get paid to list and sell real estate. I get paid to follow up on my leads. I get paid to bring buyers and sellers together. I get paid to negotiate contracts. And, guys, you're absolutely correct. However, there's something that's more simple, something that's more basic than even that. See, you get paid every single day to actually communicate. You get paid to talk, to blah, 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 blah every single day. And when you really look at the top producers, what they have is they have that confidence. They have that ability to be able to speak and communicate at a very, very high level. What we're going to do today is I'm going to share with you some critical thoughts about scripting, about dialogues that you can start to use immediately to be able to start to transform, to move your business around a little bit. I think the first thing that we've got to do is we've got to really get in our mind some ideas about scripts. And I know some of us say, gosh, I don't like scripts. We resist it a little bit. I wrote down some thoughts here in terms of why we resist. We resist it because maybe our egos get in the way. We think we're too cool. We think we got it figured out. We resist it also because we're afraid the script may make us sound like or look like a salesperson. Well, hey, let's be honest. That's what we are, right? We can call ourselves realtors, real estate agents, but the reality is we are professional salespeople with a job when we're hired is to sell the house or to negotiate effectively, okay, for someone who's going to purchase the home. So I want you to look at it, I want you to think about that, whatever the resistance is, whether it's our ego, whether we don't want to look like a salesperson, whether it's uncomfortable for us, the more that we become great at scripts, the more money that you're actually going to make. I think a great example is this. You ever been to a movie before and it was horrible? You almost got up. Maybe you did get up and you walked out. The acting was so poor, so terrible that it was almost humorous. Unfortunately, some of you may be thinking, well, that sounds like my last listing presentation, or it sounds like the last appointment that I had for a buyer consult. Well, the reason that you wanted to get up is this. The scripts probably, weren't that good that the actors and the actresses were using, but in addition to that, they weren't delivering them in a professional and efficient, a manner that captivated you and wanted you to actually stay. Now, I wrote some things down here, and I'm going to step out of the frame a little bit so that you can actually see this. But I wrote some actors and actresses' names down here, and maybe you can see this. I wrote down Johnny Depp. And next to Johnny Depp's name, I wrote down the number $75 million. Now, guys, what that is, the $75 million represents how much money this great scripted actor made in 1 year. I'm going to show you a couple of other ones right now, too. I wrote down Sandra Bullock, $56 million. Jerry Seinfeld, $74 million. Jay Leno, who basically, all that Jay Leno does is he actually stands or sits and would read from a teleprompter effectively. Now, guys, think about that. Here they are making $75 million, $50 million, $74 million, $30 million. The list goes on. And all that they do is simply this. They read their script better than anybody else out there in the world. Okay? So if we're going to, and Gary says this, Gary Keller says, one of the 5 critical things that you need to do every single day, obviously number 1 is lead generate, number 2 is lead follow-up, number 3 is negotiate contracts, number 4 is go on buyer and listing presentations, buyer and seller presentations, and number 5 is spend time practicing your what? That's right, your scripts. So let's look at the benefits. How the mind works is when the benefits become great enough, then the actions will follow. So I want you to look at it, I want you to think about right now what the benefits are to having a great scripted presentation to buyers or sellers or prospects or your leads. And I wrote these down for you guys. I wrote down number 1. They give us incredible confidence to go out and to do our job effectively. See, one of the scariest things being a new agent, right? I mean, think about when you're a new agent. The fear was, oh my gosh, I'm going to go on a listing presentation. What am I going to say? And see, the more you drill, the more you actually go over the scripts of when do you plan on moving, how long have you lived at this address, and we can go through the entire script, then the easier it is for you to show up, to feel confident. And the sellers and the homeowners and the buyers out there, they want a real estate agent. They want a sales professional that's going to create confidence. And how can you actually instill confidence if you aren't confident? I wrote down number 2. The second thing is about a script is it saves us from wasting time. Okay, it saves us wasting time. Now, how does it do that? Well, it's pretty simple. If we have a script down, are you going to be a little bit more effective, a little bit more efficient in the conversation? You better believe it. Look, I have my script right here. I've got my words written down right here. Because I know I've got 6 or 7 minutes to convey powerful information to you. Just like on a listing presentation, you have a short amount of time, or a buyer presentation, a short amount of time to make your point, to convince them that they need to work with you. So it saves us a lot of time versus you going in there doing that little sort of song and dance, right? That doesn't necessarily work. And it ends up taking a lot longer in the terms of your presentation. In fact, studies have been done that it takes 2 to 3 times longer if you're off script than if you're actually on it. I wrote down number 3 here. It allows us to stay focused. This is what we've noticed in MAPS, is that it allows us to stay focused on the client and to keep us from talking about ourselves. Okay? It allows us to keep our focus where it really needs to be, which is on the client. You know, it's very interesting. As a MAPS coach, and as a coach over the years for the last 15 years, what we've determined in MAPS and what I've seen personally here is that most of us, when we go on a listing presentation or we go on a buyer presentation, guess what we speak about the most? Ourselves. Do the clients really care about you? I mean, do they want you? They want to know that you can get the job done. But do they care about you and what your hobbies are and what you like to do during your spare time, or what you have in common with them? No, they care about one thing, and that is, hey, what are you going to do to sell my house? What are you going to do to get me in the home of my dreams? See, and the script allows you to keep your focus on that. I wrote down for you also point number 4. It actually saves us massive amount of energy in terms of doing our job every single day. See, when you have a script, like I have my script, or like Gary has his script when he's doing Quantum Leap, or Diana has her script when she's doing Bold Leadership, or Tony had his script when he was doing, Thrive in a Shifting Market, it allows us to be able to duplicate and be predictable in our presentation. And when we can duplicate and be predictable, we're not thinking about what we've got to say next. And when we're not thinking about what we need to say next, we're saving energy. In today's marketplace, it really does require a lot of energy to do our job at a high level. We've got to be looking at every single way, every possibility to be able to shave down that energy, to be able to save the energy ourselves so that we can utilize it in those critical moments. Okay? I wrote down a couple of other points here that I want to share with you. Okay? Critical here is I wrote down, you remain in control. So point number 5 is you get to remain in control. You remain in control of the situation. You remain in control of by using the questions of the scripts. You remain in control because when the client starts asking you questions and starts, actually directing the conversation, you might as well pack up and walk out. See, clients want someone to lead them. They want someone that's confident. They want someone that actually is going to help them, that they can follow. It's almost like instinctual. We look for that alpha male or that alpha female. See, the scripts give you the ability to be that alpha. They give you the ability to actually be in control. Okay? And last but not least, I wrote down, you win as well as the client gets to win. You win because you end up generating a great client that's very happy. You generate income for yourself. You get a lot of great, wonderful repeat and referral business. And most importantly, the client wins because they get to work with a great professional salesperson, which is you. So listen, guys, if you want to know how to get great at scripts, come to Bold. If you want to know how to get great at scripts, ask your MAPS coach here on your next coaching call, hey, what do I need to do to really internalize these scripts? I'll share a story with you, then I'll let you go here today. I've coached some of the great producers here inside of Keller Williams. One of them that I'm coaching right now is a wonderful team down in Southern Florida named David and Wendy Lockhart. David came to me, and here's a couple that was closing over 100 transactions per year with a small team. David said to me, Bill, my presentation's just taking too long. What do I need to do? Well, I gave a specific plan for what David needed to do, from chanting the script every single day on his listing presentation, writing the listing presentation out. He had to get 3 or 4 role play partners. Since that time, his closing percentage has approached close to 90%. Way to go, David. And more importantly, he has clients saying, gosh, that was a great presentation. I mean, they know they're being presented to, they know they're being sold, and at the end they go, hey, great job. Are you getting that response? If not, look at the numbers behind me. Look at your income that you earned. And maybe it's time to start working a little bit more effectively with those scripts. Hey guys, it's my pleasure to have spent the time with you. Thanks for hanging through this. I hope you got some great value. I know I did. I look forward to seeing you all at some upcoming Bold events. By the way, if you really want to learn how to get the scripts down, come to our new program called Bold Scripts that's coming out here in the next 30 to 60 days. I sure look forward to seeing you all there. In the meantime, have a phenomenal, phenomenal day. Thanks again.